I hope I can save you thousands of dollars with this video. If you think you might need a water pump, I highly recommend that you check the cooling fan first, unlike myself. The other day, my daughter and I took a trip out of town, an hour down the road, no problems, hour back, no problems. And then she took it to a drive-through. Sitting in the drive-through, all of a sudden coolant starts pouring out like crazy. So she calls me, I tell her to shut it down quick, of course, and some wonderful employees helped push it off to the side, out of the drive-through, even gave her her food for free. So sweet. Gotta love that, especially in today's world, right? So I take it to a shop, because I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Is it overheating? Is it the water pump? Is it, something like that? I looked down in, and right here's the reservoir, and everything in this area was completely soaked with coolant. So actually, before I took it in, I did some research on YouTube, of course, some very helpful videos that point to the water pump on this vehicle. The water pump is not on the exterior of the engine. It's actually built inside, behind the timing chain cover and behind the timing chains. And I thought, I just don't have time to deal with that, or want to deal with that right now. And so I decided to take it in and get it checked out. They concurred, and here's why I think they made the same conclusion. I'm gonna show you this. We're on the top of the engine here. There's a weep hole for the water pump. Yeah, right down in here. That's the trough of the V, that makes a V4, V6, whatever. And so that was completely filled with coolant because it had been spraying. And so you can see in mine, it's actually, you can tell it's been wet, but it's dry now. And so anyway, so the shop was like, yep, you need a new water pump. And I was like, okay, great. And the reason that they thought that is because of all of the coolant up in that area. And the weep hole is there. So if your water pump is going bad on these, that is one sign, is that you get coolant up in that trough. So I had them do the job. $1,900 in my community is what it cost me. It wasn't a dealer, so it was a little cheaper, but $1,900 later. And I'm like driving around, great, got this. And I'm sitting idling, and all of a sudden I see steam coming up out of my hood. I'm like, what the heck? What is going on? So I get it home and did some more video watching, and I'm like, I just can't figure out what this is. And so I take it back to the shop, because I'm like, I don't know, maybe they just didn't do it right, And they check it out, and they tell me that it's the cooling fan, actually. And so let me show you this. Here's the front of the car. Here's the cooling fan right here, right down in here behind this radiator hose. Okay, there's two fans. It's a dual fan. There's one over here and one over here. And they told me that this side stopped working, and so they actually knocked it with like a hammer or a screwdriver or something and got the fan to begin turning. And so they were like, yep, so now you need a cooling fan. I'm like, wait a minute, I just spent $2,000 on a water pump. What in the world? Why did we not check this first? So folks, this is how you can save thousands of dollars. If you think you might need a water pump for your Ford Edge, I highly recommend that you check the cooling fan first. Because what happened was, because the cooling fan stopped, coolant came out of the reservoir and sprayed all over the top of the engine, including down into that trough, which made it look like it was the water pump. A new cooling fan online cost me about $220 or so, something like that. I just wanted to give you this tip that could save you thousands of dollars, literally. Some communities, it's a $2,500 job to get the water pump done, and I'm sure some dealers charge closer to $3,000. So I hope this video saves you thousands. Unfortunately, it didn't for me. With that, I hope you have a great day, and I hope your project goes way better than mine, and your pocketbook stays fatter than mine. And whatever project you decide to take on yourself, remember that you got this. Remember to like and subscribe if this has been helpful. We'll catch you in the next video.